All right, ladies and gentlemen, in order to be successful for today's instruction, please take out a whiteboard, a focus, and a study guide. Let's go. In order to be successful for today's instruction, please take out a focus, a study guide, and a whiteboard. Thank you, my darling. All right, here we go. On your whiteboard, please tell me what level of mental retardation has an IQ score of 40 to 55. Oh, okay. Thank you, my darling. What mental retardation level has a score of 40 to 55? What is it, Luke? Moderate. On your whiteboard, please tell me what level of mental retardation are they? Mostly independent. They need some supervision on things like cooking, but they are the most independent. What is it, Jessica? Mild. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the smallest population percentage of mental retardation? There are very, 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 very few of them. What is it, Kelly? Profound. On your whiteboard, what is... please tell me, what level of mental retardation would this describe? They are capable of doing some basic things like helping with feeding and dressing. However, they still probably have bowel issues and require assistance with their bowels, and they will never be fully independent. And moderate. On your whiteboard, the kids here at Plant High School are a majority of what type of mental retardation? Jalissa, mild. On your whiteboard, what is the name of every person's first environment? What is the name of every person's first environment? Good. What is it, Connor? The womb is your first environment. So, in your first environment, by the way, this is going well. This is going real well. Your first environment is your mother's womb. So if your mother's drinking alcohol, what are you exposed to while you're in the womb? There you go. So that's what we mean by it. If your mother is smoking cigarettes, what are you exposed to? Cigarettes. All those different types of things. So she's using drugs, you're exposed to them as well. That's what we call it, the first environment. On your whiteboard, please tell me what is the top 2% of the intelligence population called? Good. What is it, Sophia? Gifted. On your whiteboard, please tell me true or false. If you are considered part of the gifted population, you are going to live a lonely, sad existence because you cannot interact with other people. True or false? Is what, Caroline? False. False. Terman is the dude who's going to do a longitudinal study, or a long-term study, long-term study, and shows that gifted people live just as happy. Think about Sheldon Cooper and Amy Farrah Fowler. They found each other. Two weirdos. In a world full of normal people found each other. How wonderful. Okay. On your whiteboard, please tell me, all intelligences for the entire human population fall along a what? Which means you have very few at the very top, you have very few at the very bottom. It is a perfect what, Emerson? Bell curve. On your whiteboard, what is a system for combining symbols such as words so that an unlimited number of meaningful statements can be made with the purpose of communicating with others? What is it, Jalissa? Language. On your whiteboard, what is the rules of language called? Good. Rules of a language are called what? Ooh, we got a lot of wrong answers. Jaden. Grammar. Your rules are grammar. Oh. What is it for the rules for combining words and to form grammatically correct? What is that called? Nina? Syntax. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the smallest unit of meaning in words? This is what I really messed up teaching yesterday, and I told you today I'd be better. That's what we're going to do. What is it, Kelly?
Morphemes.
Morphemes. All right, here we go. Okay, this is where we're going to pick up because I do need to add a little bit of clarity. And to be quite honest, this week's stuff is really not that hard, as we've already seen here. Yeah, literally I have 4 more slides to go after this one.
For the whole entire thing?
I'm here. Okay, I have 5 more. Okay, I can't count. I'm a history teacher, okay? So, yeah, it's really not that hard. This is one of the easiest tests of the year. I made someone happy. Okay, so when we talk about grammar, we are talking about the rules of a language. On your whiteboard, give me an example of grammar. Give me a rule of grammar. No, that's going to be syntax. I know, but I'm clarifying things today because I got time. I'm clarifying. That's what we're going through. Thank you. I got 1. Yeah, I got 2, I would officially say. Okay. It looks like an incomplete face. All right, there we go. Jaden, what do you have? Subject verb agreement. That is. So next to your grammar in your box, write these down. Jaden, say it one more time.
Subject verb agreement.
All right, say yours, Caroline. Apostrophes being used. Okay, what else we got, Emerson? I before E except after C. That is grammar. Those are perfect examples of grammar. I don't know what that is.
Positive. Like when you have a purpose and then the thing in the building don't really
We're gonna skip that.
in a positive.
Sure. That's not what we would call like a casual thing of grammar. We're just gonna stick with easy things that we're all comfortable with. Okay? I before E except after C is a perfect example of grammar. Okay? So on your notes, clarify your notes. Let's make sure everyone's on the same page here when we talk about grammar. Syntax is the system and rules for combining words and phrases. A perfect example of this is you are and your. Okay? This would be a perfect one, and I hope you can see why this is a perfect example. Can we agree? By the way you combine the words will change the meaning of the words, and that's a perfect example for syntax. Another rule for syntax or example would be, can you please cover your mouth so I don't have to see your tonsils? Thank you very much. Another rule would be putting everything in past tense. Making sure everything agrees. All of your tenses agree. Is it past? Is it present? Those types of things. That would be another agreement for syntax. Okay? So the rules for combining certain things would be syntax. What? Application. Super smart people. Like Albert Einstein is who I'd put for my application. Right? You were just going to write super smart people? Okay. Okay. Are you okay? You look a little desperate over there. We've got tears coming now. Happy tears, but tears.
Isn't the popcorn food bad?
Yeah?
Can we go get some?
Lunch is over. It's 7th period. Hi. You need this. Getting an A on this test would be very good.
Like an extra lollipop. Just a lollipop.
Yeah.
Nothing else. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I just never know.
Hi, I'm trying to make Jessica proud. I am trying to make Jessica proud. She came to school for me, and I want to make her proud. We're making Jessica proud today. And I have no candy for you.
I want a lollipop.
I don't understand how all of a sudden I have a lollipop.
There's a bowl.
There is a bowl, but those were donated to for 8th period by 8th period, so 8th period's going to finish it. Someone in my 8th period brought candy for 8th period, and they're going to finish it. I don't understand how I have a lollipop, though. Like, Kelly.
So like there, and there
I'm
with the
not
sentence.
Yes. Yeah, because they denote possession, they denote presence, whatever one you're talking about. Okay, morphemes. I want you to write down a complex word, which means it has multiple morphemes. My example to you, which you cannot use, is biology or geology. Okay? Geo means earth. Bio means life. So when you have geology, it means the study of earth, people. Okay? If you're doing biology, it's the study of Life. So on your whiteboard, write down a complex word or a compound word that has more than one morpheme and tell me what the two parts mean. If you do an ology, it'll come up to something. So write something down and tell me what it would be. Give me a complex word, people. Something that has multiple syllables and it's probably based up of different morphemes. Ology doesn't mean ology, my love.
Oh.
Ology means the study of. So I would change at least the ology part.
Is that one right? Can you say?
Non-polar? Yeah, I mean, it would work. I've just never heard of non-polar before.
Never heard the word non-polar.
Why would I hear the thing
Science,
non-polar?
chemistry.
I'm sorry. When's the last time do you think I'm a grown woman talking about science? I went into a freshman gifted class today and they were doing DNA chains. What the hell voodoo magic was that? All these kids are like, oh, it's so easy. This is the like compounds and the proteins and all that shit. And I'm like, what is this voodoo magic? Huh?
Was it Miss Rose?
Yeah, it was Miss Rose.
He's the best biologist.
Well, sure. And I had no idea what was happening. All right. So break it down. Okay, so turn to your neighbor and share what your compound word is. Go. Hi, you can talk. Does Madison need a buddy? Perfect.
I was ready.
The study of yoga.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so who can give me some morphemes that you came up with? Emerson.
Paleolithic.
Paleo. Yes. So correct. Is that it? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so what are some morphemes? Small, unit, medium. I'm not looking for the whole word. I'm looking for part of it. So who did I just call before I got distracted by the phone? Emerson. So you said paleo. So what does paleo mean? Yeah. So what is paleo? No.
It's no sugars or
Pre-civ.
wheat.
Pre-civilization is what paleo means. Pre-civil. Okay, so pre-civilization. Okay. Paleolith. What else we got? What do you got, Sophia?
Prehistoric.
Pre means what?
Before.
Before. Historic means what? History. I'm not going to tell them. Okay. What do you got, Annie? Try. Try what? What's the full word there, boss? Huh?
Isn't something like wheels?
3. So if you could do try, you can also do buy, which is yeah. And then like you can have what else is some other morphemes? Kelly. Read. Read means what?
Redo. Is it to do again?
To do again.
Are these just roots?
These are morphemes. They're smallest units of meaning. Yeah. What else is another one?
Unicycle.
That's a word. That's not a morpheme. What would be a morpheme? Uni means what?
One.
What else is another one? Huh?
Post.
Host means what?
After.
What else?
Can you say like ED like
Yeah, absolutely. Ed absolutely means after.
happened in the past?
Fast. Ing means what?
Or wait.
It's an action. Yeah. Action. What else do we have? We don't know any other words. We've capped out
EN.
our word knowledge.
N.
Oh God. What the hell is that?
Like N. Like.
Anti.
Like in means a part, in part.
Can you do anti?
Yeah, of course. Anti means what?
Against.
Opposite, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Inter-post-spectrum.
Huh?
Capture.
What?
Hydro. Like hydro.
Yeah, for sure. Hydro works. Hydro means what?
Is like
Love is.
phobic is scared.
What?
It's
Phobic is doesn't like it.
Phobia.
Phobic.
Yeah, phobia means scared.
Anorexia.
And then philic is love.
Misspelled.
EN like
and capture like
Feel like
and
needs
fill
like
it and lemons.
Wow, fair.
I don't
What
know
else we got?
exactly
Fill
what
it.
it's like.
What?
Hydrophilic means it likes water. So
Enter.
hydrophobic is because it hates water.
Enter.
Yeah, can we be less science?
as Mr.
Like
Bose
a lot
says,
is there.
something.
Yes, your whole world is full of morphemes, ladies and gentlemen.
Enter.
Femic? I don't know.
Oh, EX.
Fine. I'm literally just skating through this like a girl. Okay. Alright, so do we understand morphemes now? They're the smallest unit of meaning. So the easiest one is like geology, geo. Sophia, put your phone away. You're not even like, you're just literally holding it up to your face while I am attempting to teach here. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I'm recording that. I'm just so proud. Thank you so much. You just like zoned out, like staring at a phone, kind of drooling a little bit. If you look.
You know the challenge where they pour the milk and they keep going like past the glass?
Why is that a challenge?
I don't get it.
Dad, I wanted to see what the dad was doing.
I am trying to make Jessica proud.
Is this the only reason you came to school?
Yes.
No, I came here this morning. Yeah.
She came back.
In my third.
She came back.
Yeah.
She came back. And I want to make sure she feels like it was worth her time. Oh shit. No. I know I have to.
You can't just tell your 8th period that like you ate a little bit of mixed.
Come on.
I would love to. Thank you. Emily, you're out. Okay, so morphemes. Okay. No, I just got a call that I need to take that I will be taking. Okay, semantics, ladies and gentlemen. Do you need that? Okay, do you need semantics? Okay. Alright, semantics, just so you know, are the rules for determining the meaning of words and in sentences. So it's like your context clues. By being able to understand what is the word is supposed to be implying by using your context clues, like every single one of you, hopefully once a day comes across a word you've never seen before. Like as if you're not, then what the hell are you people doing every day? You're not learning something. With that being said, semantics help you figure out the meaning of that word. Okay, whether, what type of word it is, what could it possibly mean, and that's all semantics. Okay, phonemes. Phonemes are the basic unit of sounds. Who can make me a basic sound?
Ah.
Ah, b, s, t, ch, k.
So pronouncing the alphabet.
Yeah, but all the different versions of like ah, eh, like ah, like all the different ways that have
So for application, you just pick pronunciation.
Yeah, pronunciations of all the versions of letters that we have. Because like sometimes you have like a long S and sometimes you have a short S. Sometimes you have a silent P.
X is
Yeah, like that just doesn't exist. It's unnecessary. I'm just kidding, my daughter.
Chi-chi's.
Cheechios.
Instead of like,
Or you can just call it the cheech. That's what my husband calls it. He's lame, that's fine. With that being said, phonemes are the smallest unit of sound. So b, s, t, ch. Okay, all of those words, sounds that we make to form all of the letters, all of the words that we use, that's what phonemes. By the way, this is also on your focus, by the way, so you could also be filling it there. So if you're just like staring off into space and saying, oh man, this sucks, you could also be filling it out there, which is on your back of your focus. At the top. No, it's not. Come at me, boo. What?
so like, how would we phrase the application?
I would say b, as in ball. I would underline the B.
Be like, ah, like AHH.
It sounds like you're saying, ah! Whatever you want, people, ladies and gentlemen, whatever makes you happy. Like B and then say b. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy. So phonemes. Phonemes are the smallest unit of sound. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and pronounce every letter of your name. That was way harder than I was expecting. Sam.
But what about like
O.
Yeah, like P and H work together.
Cool, then it's one sound. So turn to your neighbor and try to pronounce all of your phonemes. Go. Turn and join turn and join Nina and Sophia. Madison.
I have two options in a row.
Emerson, let's hear it.
No, don't do anything better. Just pronounce the word. Like the sound.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Or go.
Because they're the same
Annie, let's hear yours.
Said every
Okay, yours is kind of easy. Luke, you got a pretty easy one back there too. What do you got? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that should have been really awkward for you. Can we agree? It should have been like, oh, this kind of hurts my brain trying to figure this out. Because do we speak in perfect phonemes? No. However, do we teach phonemes?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. When you're teaching a little kid how to read, you say b, ball. You do a really hard B to teach them that B sound, ball. And then the kid says wall, and you're like, no, idiot, it's ball, ball. And the kid says wall, and you're like, idiot, smack, ball. And the kid's like, ball, and you're like, yeah, and you smack one on the other side. Just kidding. Okay? So when you're teaching little kids letters, you're teaching them the sound of phonemes. However, as fluent English speakers, myself not included, do we use perfect phonemes every single time? No, because our language is not based on perfect phonemes. It is based on morphemes, which blend sounds together in order to create new and unique words. So with that being said, not every single thing that we say makes a perfect phoneme. However, the foundation of our language is phonemes. But as we've expanded our language and used the language as fluent speakers, the terms and the sounds of words change. Just like when you learn a new language. In French, you're supposed to do it with an accent, right? I can't do it in French. Bonjour. You're not just saying bonjour, no. Okay, you're not allowed to say it like that. You're supposed to say it with a French accent. That's a phoneme. When you're doing things in accent, you're trying to use the phonemes of that culture. Does that mean we're doing it well?
No.
No, because when I went to France and I was like, bonjour, comment allez-vous, because I love French people, but I can't speak French. I know like 3 phrases. And they like laugh at me, which is fine, but then they're nice to me. So it's like happy. I'm happy with that. If they're nice to me, which is, they're like idiot American. And they're like, hello, please stop speaking French. Sorry. They're like, what do you want? All the macaroons you have, please. Anyway, they're the best part. Have you been to France?
No.
There you go. You gotta go to France and eat all the macarons you can possibly get. You haven't been to France.
Wait, who was it last year that brought in the macarons class?
So that was like homemade macarons.
I know, but
If you didn't go to like
Was that
France and
Andres?
eat macarons.
Place in
No, it was
Miami.
during AP World.
There's a lot of places. Like you can go to the mall and buy macarons.
No, but those aren't good.
That's what I'm saying. Go to France and you gotta eat a macaron. Because like McCrae, I don't think he's ever had a macaron before. And we went to France and
The
then
way
he
that you're trying to
macarons.
so funny.
Well, because like in France, like they like when you say macaroon and they're like, please leave. So like you got shit on it for saying it wrong, and now I just like saying it. Just like bonjour, like you're not supposed to say it without enthusiasm, but I'm just happy that I know the word. Bonjour. And that's literally how I said it every time. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? And then they'd say something back to me, I'd be like, I don't know what you said, because bonjour, comment allez-vous is like, hello, how are you? And then they would be like, and I'd be like, shit, I don't know anything else.
Mia did on our trip knew French, and she had like ordered like food for us and everything.
Oh, that's
And so,
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice, and they're like dumb Americans. They want away. Alright, so phonemes are the basic sounds. We teach our children how to read and see by sounds, but obviously as they get older, as you just saw, trying to say your name by phonemes is the most awkward exercise because that's not how we speak once we're in fluent language, but of course it's what we teach our children to build that language connection. Alright, pragmatics. Pragmatics are aspects of language involving the practical ways of communicating with others. Social niceties of language. So, these are the rules we as a society, I'm talking American society. I'm not talking about French society. I'm not talking about Portuguese society. I'm not talking about Ethiopian society. I was talking about Ethiopia today. That's why I got Ethiopia on my mind. We're talking about American expectations in conversation. So who can tell me what is an American expectation when we talk to each other? What do you got, Jaden?
How are you?
Yeah. How many times do you say, how are you, a day? How many times do you listen to their answer? That's literally what Americans are notoriously hated on for around the world, is that every Americans are like, hey, how are you? And then we don't listen. We don't genuinely care how they're doing. It's just one of those things. It's like, hey, you can't just say, hey, you're like, hey, how are you? Right? We've even shortened it down to text messaging, you know, because we say it so often, but we don't really mean it. Okay? Perfect example, Jaden. Perfect. What else would be another example of our social niceties? What are the rules we follow? Kelly?
I was gonna say like what's up, like,
Okay,
but
that's
I
pretty
guess that's kind of
yeah. What do you got, Kate? Ladies and gentlemen, I just got creeped out right before class. Why was I so creeped out? Why immediately was I creeped out? Why? Kelly?
You got up in your
Yeah, it was too close to me.
So,
Your bubble.
Yeah, guys, hello. If I was like, hello, today I'm teaching you phonemes. She's genuinely uncomfortable, and you can all imagine. I picked Margo because I know she'd let me do that, and I didn't mean to creep you out, but it was trying to creep you out. If I got in your business and was like, hello, you want to see a magic trick? You would be creeped out as well. Space. As Americans, we like more space than in other countries. Okay? If you go to France, they're like, hello. And like, bonjour, and they're like right here taking your order, and you're just like, whoa, bro. Hispanic people, absolutely. Have Hispanic.
Have to kiss every time you greet your
There you go. That would be one, yeah, for sure. What would be another one, Luke? Give me one. What's another expectation? What is something that someone does that you think is really weird when you talk to them?
They're like Twitch.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. How many times have you talked to someone and you're like having a conversation and they're just like, they just close their eyes? My sister does that. My sister has a touch of autism, and I'm not like making a joke out of it. My sister has a touch of autism to her. Remember, autism is just like mental retardation. It's a spectrum. Some have really light cases, some have really severe cases. My sister has a touch of autism. It's facts. My parents didn't want to address it and so today, Kim's just living her life. She'll literally talk to you, and then she'll be like, yeah, for Thanksgiving, I'm going to bring this, and then I'm just going to, yeah, we'll do that, and, you know, work's going fine, and, you know, it's just kind of like that, and, you know, Adam's fine, he's the worst, and I hate him, and he's just awesome. I hate her boyfriend so freaking much, okay? We expect when people are talking to us that they what?
make eye contact.
They make eye contact, absolutely. If someone is talking to you and then they start looking off in other places, we consider it rude, right? Okay, so that would be another one. What do you got, Kelly?
Every single time you pass by someone, even if they're strangers, you have to smile.
We
Like,
smile at
not
everyone.
have to smile,
Not everyone, but like if you like, if you
I have
make
people come up to me and I refuse to like engage. There's one kid who knows I hate him, who goes out of his way to say hello to me all the time, and I literally just stare at him and I refuse to say anything back because I hate him.
no, I mean
Good for you.
not everyone, but like when you're
Hold on.
face.
Huh?
Thanks for having my face. Like my face was the reason I always got like past the other day. Like just because
It's a little salty face, I'm say. It looks full of judgmental.
so
She's not mad about it either. No. I mean, like, for instance, we have different phrases for what we call faces. We have RBF, of course. Yes, which is a real thing. Okay. Is that something we want to have, or is it usually a sign of like negativity? Negativity. I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm not a warm, fuzzy person. So if you think I'm scary, then please don't talk to me. Like the magic trick kid. Seriously, me?
We'll tell them. He's really cool.
I think
you should
I
definitely
think
see
you
it.
should just
You'd be
watch one
fascinated.
video on the phone and then rethink it.
time, you'd be like, I want to see your magic trick.
It's,
I'm not really into magic.
I could literally show you
The
a
friendship
15-second
begins.
video right now. You're gonna be like, how did he do that? How did he do that?
No, I'm good. My quality of life is going to be just fine. Okay, so when we're talking about pragmatics, we're talking about expectations. Okay, we're talking about what we expect people to be doing while we're talking to them and interacting with them. Like here in America, when we say hello to people, do we touch them? Thank God. Like there are other countries where like you literally like French, like you kiss both cheeks every time you see them. The Hispanics interact, they kiss, they say hello on a much bigger way. In a lot of your Asian countries, especially if you're older, they'll bow. Okay, those are just typical greetings. Those are pragmatics. Those are certain expectations society has by the culture that is important to them. When if it's not followed, it makes people feel genuinely uncomfortable when things like that aren't followed. So turn to your neighbor and say, what is one pragmatic that if it is not followed here in the United States, it makes you uncomfortable? Mine is space. If you don't give me enough space in my little bubble, you're making me physically uncomfortable. I need space. Breathing room. Stay away from me. Don't touch me. Turn to your neighbor and share what makes you the most uncomfortable when you're talking to people. Go. Yeah, like when you're interacting with people. Yes, that's pragmatics. Yes, yes.
Like then, like when you're just walking and then like some kid you don't know, you just start talking to them, like walking with you, like they just keep walking with you, and it's like, why are you still?
3, 2. So a couple other ones that I just thought of. How many of you say Mr. and Mrs. and use the last name? Raise your hand if you do last names. Like this whole like Mr. Luke. Like I was never raised like that. It would always be Mr. White. Okay, you never said first name. Like this whole like Miss Margot. Like I would never have called you. If you were like when I was a kid and you were the adult in the room, I would never have said Miss Margot. It's Miss Sheldon. Shelton. Sorry, not Sheldon. Sorry. Some people do. Some like it's a Southern thing that they say Miss Kate or Miss Nina, and they say Miss and then try to show some respect and then they say the first name. Up in Massachusetts and New England, you do last names. Like I only like still to this day. Like I'm 32 years old. Like I have a husband. I own property. Like theoretically, I'm a grown-up. Right? Theoretically. Let's not get wild with it. I am wearing a Blink-182 shirt, so not too much of an adult. Okay? When I still see my parents' friends, it's still Mr. or Mrs., whatever their last name is. And they're like, oh no, call me Joanne.
Weird.
No. Like, I'm so uncomfortable.
My
Yeah.
parents did that when I was younger, so now whenever I call her parents, I say Mr. Dan or Miss Karen.
That's fine. That's a cultural thing. Like, if it's a culturally okay in that home, then that's fine. But in my home, like, my mother is Mrs. Reeves. Done. Like, you don't know her as Anne. You're never going to call her Miss Anne. She is nothing to you except Mrs. Reeves. And she will call you out. This is where I get it. And she'll say, I don't know who this Anne person is because you are not on my level. That's what she says. It's hilarious. Like, that's where I get my sass from. And another thing I was thinking of, another cultural thing with your generation, which I absolutely hate, no offense, is when you people listen to music without headphones in public spaces. There's one kid who's here every morning early, and he just blares his cell phone in the hallway, and every other day I call his crap out because I hate him. Like, why? Put in damn headphones, man. What do you got, Kate?
Would it be like if you called, if your parents and you said yes, ma'am?
Yeah, for sure. Anyone here? Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. That's my house. That's my house. I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am all the time.
Well, I'm not making
I think I'm going to text my husband to make them call on my behalf. But yes, I do have an important phone call that I just missed, which really sucks.
Let me answer.
I'm a little stressed about it.
Yeah.
That is factual. What?
What if like I actually I was gonna say like I don't say it to my parents, but because of work, like I say it to strangers. Or like
Why are you talking to strangers?
my job.
Yeah, I guess. What do you say?
Like just like if I need to get their attention, I'll say like ma'am or sir.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I need to
that's
get
fine.
by.
I say, because we like write down their names, I say Miss Alex or something like that. It's their first name.
Look at you. Wild man you are. Getting crazy with it. So, pragmatics. Does everyone feel pretty comfortable with pragmatics? Yes? Okay. So, linguistic relativity hypothesis. It's on your chart, by the way. Okay? Is it on the chart? Yeah, it's on your focus on your chart. Jessica, are you glad you came today?
I don't know. We only have
A minute or two. Okay, it is the theory that the thoughts you process and the concepts you are control. What? Does it make sense? The theory of that thought processes and concepts are controlled by language. So, ladies and gentlemen, the more words you know, the more complex your thoughts. So, say you only can say words like beautiful, big, small, smart, dumb. Are your thoughts going to be big or small? Small. So you can say words like humongous, magnanimous, astute. Are your thoughts more complex or simplified? Complex. So linguistic relativity hypothesis is the belief that the more words you know, the more complex your thoughts are. So think about it. Think about someone you know in your life that has a super limited vocabulary. I have 2 of them in my 2nd period, and all they say is drip. In my 8th period. Drip. Drip. That's so drip. That's so, what else did I say? I can't even, because it's so stupid. Raw. That is the other one they say all the damn time. Are you telling me these 2 boys have complex thoughts? No, they do not. They say drip. They say raw. They say.
Exactly.
I'm not going to give my sources. Have a good day, guys.